Hi guys, I don't know about you, but I am just kind of craving a fresh start right now. Maybe it's just the winter kind of woes that are weighing me down. Maybe it's the fact that spring is around the corner. Maybe it's just that every now and then we need to break out of our rut, right? And so I've been thinking a lot about simple, practical things we can do to kind of get our lives organized and put back together heading into the summer months. Now, of course, the tips I want to share with you today are useful year-round, so I hope that you'll find them helpful. I've put together my top 10 suggestions, top 10 tips for ways that we can spring clean our lives. And this is not just about going through our stuff, but really going through various areas of our life and trying to get that fresh start that we're craving. Now, each one of these things is super useful on its own, but together I think they have that much more of an impact. So as we go through, pick and choose the ones that resonate the most with you. These are, again, just my immediate ideas for how I'm going to be spring cleaning and simplifying my life. Oh, and one last thing. Be sure and stay tuned to the very end because number 10 is the most important. Hey everybody, I'm Amber with Solutions for Simplicity, and as always, I'm so thrilled that you're here. I love sharing anything and everything I can with you to help you free up more time for who and what you love. That's what this channel is all about. And so if you're new, please take a minute and subscribe. I make new videos every week all about prioritization, productivity, time management, and that elusive thing we call work-life balance. Again, today I want to talk to you about my top 10 tips for spring cleaning our lives. Let's get right to it. Now, as always, quick little preface. I am a busy working mom of 3 kids 6 and under, and while I am a huge fan of simple living, my house is what you would expect. There's tons of stuff. It's super chaotic. There's a lot of noise, but more than anything, there is just constantly so much on my to-do list. And so while some of the tips we're going to talk about are about decluttering our stuff and kind of living a more simple, minimal lifestyle, a lot of these tips are actually things that help free up your mental space and build in more time so that you can get to the things you've been wanting to do. So the first thing we can do is go through our phone. We can delete any contacts that we're no longer in touch with, any numbers that we don't need. We can go through our apps and delete any that we haven't used in a while, maybe evaluate which ones we've paid for or are continuing to pay a subscription fee for. If we're not using them, why are we doing that, right? And then it's also something that's been on my list forever to go through my photos and delete any that are bad and I don't need, as well as make sure they are all backed up, safe and secure in another spot. Tip number 2 is to clean out our car. I get super overwhelmed when I think about spring cleaning my entire house because there's just stuff everywhere. There are so many places that I just don't even know when or how I'll make a dent. And we'll come back to some ways that maybe we can get a handle on the inside stuff in a minute, but I love the idea of cleaning out our car as a way of spring cleaning our life because if you're like me, I spend so much of my day in the car, whether that's driving the kids to and from school and activities or driving to work with a commute or what have you, right? If my car is clean and somewhat put together, especially with all the junk that my kids drag in all the time, then I feel a little bit better about my day. So cleaning out my car is definitely going to be on the agenda. Number 3 is to go through our books, go through our bookshelves. And if you're like me, you might be a bit of a hoarder when it comes to saving all the books that you've read, that you've loved, the ones that you bought thinking you were going to read and never got to. And then this may not apply to you, but I'm a professor, so I've not only saved pretty much every textbook I've ever had, but I also just have a bunch of folders and other things on my bookshelf that make it look super cluttered and junky. And so I can't wait to go through my books, give away the ones that I don't need, and find better homes for the books that are waiting to be read. Now, number 4 is something that I've challenged myself to do from time to time, and it's a little bit harder than you might think. But that is to have a no spend day. Set a day, maybe a regular day of the week where you do not spend any money. You don't go buy that Starbucks drink. You don't buy something extra at the gas station. You don't take the kids through the drive-thru on your way home and, do something fast and easy that way for dinner. Whatever it is that might be a temptation for you, especially if it's an email that there's a big sales special going on at your favorite retailer, or, you see something on Amazon that you just have to have. Those are the day-to-day things that can actually really add up. And I don't have to tell you, but the more we spend, the less time we ultimately have to live our lives, because our life is then indebted, our time is indebted to earning money to pay off the things that we've bought. So one of the big things we can do to live a simple life is to spend less. Now, on this no spend day, it's not just about not spending the money, it's about putting the money you would have spent towards a better cause, whether that is helping to pay off debt or maybe saving up for something that you really do want, something bigger like a family vacation or that new workout outfit or whatever it is that you are tempted to spend money on. Save that thing as a reward for a job well done. Number 5 is so important. I don't know about you, but I'd be willing to bet that, like me, this is something you struggle with. In fact, I am actually really embarrassed to admit that I have a problem with this. But number 5 is to cut back on our social media usage. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes less a day, that can add up to a pretty substantial amount of time that we are saving and spending in such a more productive and fulfilling way every week. Now, again, I was never on social media until last fall when I started Solutions for Simplicity, and it's just crazy how that temptation to check my phone is always there. So I am going to definitely be trying to use social media less as I work to spring clean my life. And if social media usage is something that you struggle with, then stay tuned, because in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have a whole video dedicated to these very actual, practical ways that we can use social media less. I've got a bunch of good tips for you there. The 6th thing we can do is so easy, right? That is just to be on the lookout for all the junk lying around that's in our way as we walk from room to room, or, scan the counters and just kind of go about our daily activities. Let's get rid of that stuff the moment we see it. It doesn't need to sit there anymore. If we see something out of place, if we see something that can find a better home, let's do that. And that one thing a day that we pick up or get rid of, right, that will add up to substantial progress in not long at all. Number 7 is to get a handle on our meal planning. And I'm not the kind of person that has time for really elaborate meals, let alone really intricate meal planning. So the way that I find best to actually plan my meals and think about what to make is to just keep track of everything I eat or serve my family in a week, and then that becomes the meal plan for the following week. We don't have a lot of exciting fancy meals, and yes, we are having the same go-to things over and over, but that has definitely made my life much more simple, and it's one of the ways that I think you could spring clean your life as well. Quick little interjection here. If these tips are resonating with you and you're getting lots of ideas for how you can simplify your life and get that fresh start that you're wanting, then check out my Simpler Life Challenge. It's a new 28-day program that I am just launching, and it is chock full of these simple but very impactful, powerful things that we can all do in 15 minutes or less a day to get that simpler life that we're wanting. So each week is a different theme. One week is all based on simplifying our things, another on our thoughts, another on our tasks, and then just cumulatively trying to declutter our life. So I know you'll love it. Check it out. I'm so excited about this. Number 8 is to make a list of the top 10 places in your house that stress you out when you think about them. 10 places that just make you shudder thinking about how disorganized and out of control they are. From there, every day, pick one of the different places, set a timer for 10 minutes, and have at it. Just do whatever you can in that short time window to try and get a handle on things. I know 10 minutes doesn't sound like very much, but you know that if you're really motivated and you have that timer going, you're in a race against time, then you can get so much done, and by the end of 10 days, you'll feel so much better about how those spaces look. The 9th way that we can spring clean our lives is to get our body back in line with its natural circadian rhythm. In the winter months when everything is so dark and dreary, right? All we want to do is sleep. I have talked elsewhere about how important it is to prioritize sleep and be consistent about when we're going to bed, when we're waking up. Make sure that as spring approaches and as we head into the longer days, let's make sure that we are getting the sleep that we need and that we're getting our body back in line with when it naturally functions best. Now, as mentioned, this last one is the most important. It's the one that I really just want you to take into consideration and apply to every area of your life. But the 10th way that we can spring clean our lives is to do this sort of mental evaluation of all the things that are bringing us joy versus bringing us down. And then we can obviously think of any real strategic ways that from here on out, we can work to do more of the things that we love and less of the things that are not serving us. Now, before you go, I have an 11th bonus tip for you. That is to make sure that you've always got some sort of notebook on hand to do a brain dump of whatever is on your mind. I cannot live without something that I can write my thoughts out in. And so I love having something that I can throw in my purse, keep on my nightstand so that when I wake up in the middle of the night, I can just put things in here. But anyway, this is just a random notebook that I found at the grocery store. I thought the color was awesome. And the point is just to make sure that you're getting anything and everything that you think of and that's bothering you out of your mind and down on paper so that you free up that mental space for what really is most important and matters to you. Okay, those are my big tips for how we can all do small but actionable things to start spring cleaning our lives. I hope you loved them. And again, check out my Simpler Life Challenge because there's so much more goodness in there. But for today, I want to thank you for being here. Thanks as always for listening. If you liked this video and got value out of it, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you get notified every time I make a new video. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you back here next week. Here's to living our most simple, joyful life. I have to change the height. Okay, hold on. Let's see if this works. Hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't say that. Why can't I talk? So the first thing we can do is, why do I always mess up? My legs hurt from sitting like this. This is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. There, that wasn't so hard, was it? Whatever it is that might be kind of, what's the word I want to say? That's taking away time that we could actually be being blah, 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 blah. My legs have fallen asleep. And then as with everything, even 10 minutes just adds up so that by the end, you've made a really big dent. The 9th way. Where's the camera? Oh my gosh, my legs.